Okay, so here we are. Let's tell you what Ribble think of their new bike. So its full name, it's an Allroad Carbon 105 Di2, and I've gone for the Aero version. This is what they say about it. A carbon endurance road bike with all the comfort, confidence and versatility you need for year-round riding on the UK roads. This build combines a Shimano 105 Di2 electronic shifting, Mavic Cosmic S42 carbon wheels and an Aero road integration cockpit, finished with the Selle Italian Model X light saddle. Retails in at $3,199, but I got power meter, pedals and all that jazz, so it cost me about $3,600 I think. But it's an excellent road bike, and I'll be doing a full review of it a bit later on as I'm riding a bit easier further down the ride. So that's what it is. Go look it up. Ribble were excellent. It came more or less built, apart from having to put the stem on, having to put the seat post in and connect the Di2 under the saddle, but everything else was great. So that's what they think of it. I'll tell you a bit more about it and what I think about it a bit later on.
I will talk a bit about my new bike now. I'll show you some pictures when I get back. But I've got a Ribble Allroad Carbon, and I got the Aero Pack version. And I was going to get a Ribble Allroad SLR, because I'm doing a bike ride with my brother over in Mass by the Sea to Scarborough to York, day 2, and day 3 York back to Mass by the Sea. And there's a little bit of gravel, not a lot, but there's a few off-road bits. So that's why I wanted an all-road, but also it doubles up as both, doesn't it? I predominantly want to ride on the road, so I didn't want a gravel bike. Having one that can handle a couple of things. So this bike only came out about a month ago, and weirdly they put all the SLRs on clearance. So they have a bike called a Allroad SL, which is aluminium, which is the entry-level all-road, and then the top-end all-road is the Allroad SLR. Problem with that, it was right at the top of my buying power. I put so much money aside, and so it had no gizmos with it. You know, I wanted a power meter, I wanted probably Aero integrated handlebars, I wanted, it doesn't come with pedals, does it? I wanted the cages and everything, so it was just ramping up. And when they brought the carbon bike out, which isn't the same frame, the SLR's got integrated storage, this hasn't, but it's more or less the same looking frame. It's in a nicer colour. I know colours don't make you go faster, I get that, but it was just what I was looking for really. And by getting the Aero Pack, apparently you're paying £400 for the Aero Pack, which if you bought all the bits individually would be £700. So I think that's the benefit of getting a new bike, isn't it? Hang on, where am I going? Left. Back to Monte Darlo. And oh, there we go, out the wind. So yeah, I thought I got the best of both worlds. Haven't quite got the SLR frame, but the tyres, the Aero tyres are better than the carbon ones. I mean, they're alloy on the SLR entry level, but the carbon ones are not as good as these wheels. I've looked them up. The tyres on this are better than the tyres on that. So the Aero Pack version I've got, even though the bike frame probably costs a little bit less, I thought it was a lot more beneficial, and I got my power meter. So yeah, I've only ridden it 3 times, or twice. I dropped it as well. Before I'd even ridden it, I just put it against the wall in the house and it fell. So I've got a couple of scratches of shame, or scratches of honour, let's call them that, before I'd even ridden it as well. I was in so much trouble. But the first thing, I had a Cannondale CAD 12 aluminium bike of the year, wasn't it, in 2017 or something, or 2007 I think. Anyway, that did me well, but I knew nothing about bikes then, so I got a large, just assuming, well, I wear large t-shirts. Maybe t-shirts and bikes are not sized the same, because a large is for between 6'2" and 6'5", and I'm 5'7". So the first thing to know about this bike is it's a small, and straight away, and I know it's a more modern bike and it's carbon and everything, but the handling, it fits me a lot better. It took me a while to get my sight handle right, and I still think it needs to go down a touch now. I think I put it up too high, but it feels like it's part of me. So when I'm cornering, and I'm not an expert biker by any means, but you just feel like a bit safer on it. The other thing just seemed like you were driving a truck. And don't get me wrong, my CAD 12 didn't do me any harm, and I'm going to leave it on my turbo trainer. Excuse me, wait there. Let's concentrate a bit there. But it was just a bit big, and I always felt I didn't have enough gears. I went into a bike shop and said, can I have any more gears? I haven't got enough gears. And they went, if we had £1 every time someone wanted more gears, you always want one more, don't you? But this is, that was manual shifting. This, I guess I'm doing a review of the whole bike now, aren't I? This is Di2 shifting. A friend of mine, Paul, when I said I'm going to get the Ribble SLR, actually, the carbon hadn't come out by then, he went, what group set are you getting? And I didn't know what a group set was, but then he told me. And I went, I'm just getting the manual, because they're brand new manual Shimano 105 manual group sets come out, 12 speed. And I sounded like he knew what I was talking about. He went, Trev, do yourself a favour. It is like chalk and cheese. At least get a Di2, because once you go electronic shifting, you'll never go back. And I can remember the first ride I did a couple of days ago. I did record it, but I didn't do any of the stats. So I might put it out, I'll see. You know, the bit at the beginning where it wasn't synced with Insta360, so it didn't produce all the stats. Anyway, yeah, the first couple of gear changes I did, I was like, my God, why would anyone want manual shifting? We're back at Croft, you can see, probably got a view of the church there. And it really is a massive difference. It's immediate. You can program it. Excuse me. You can program it, which I haven't done yet. But you know, you press a couple of buttons to make it go down to. You can even make it semi-automatic. So the minute you get down to if you're on the big ring, and you get down to too big a cog, you can automatically shift to the little ring and down to on the other ring. So you can program it on the eTube app, which I've not done yet. I'm on the eTube app. I just haven't programmed it because I know what I'm doing. Plowing on the bike. But so that's the first thing. The shifting is unreal, and it's so fast. And when you're on a hill, you don't get caught out, do you? Because you can just press it a couple of times and it bails you out. Whereas manual shifting, you can occasionally get it wrong. And you're all over the place. So, yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing is the integrated handlebars. They came with the aero pack. That was another reason I got it. It's just so clean. You've got no wires anywhere. And I must admit, I had to check my CAD 12 to see if there's wires there, because a lot of that is all hidden away, but it's still a mess on the front end. Talking about having a lot of furniture on the front end, this is so slick, and it must do you some good, mustn't it? I mean, the fairly flat bars at the top, no grip on them, no handlebar grip, but they are quite comfy. I'm on them now. Didn't even see if I just move my chest down a bit. It's they're very comfy on the top, so comfy over here. they give me the size that came out the box. You could have changed it. And on the hoods, doing a bit of aero. It's so comfy. I think half of that is down the handlebars, and half of that is down to I'm on a small bike. Before I was a small bloke on a big bike and trying to get in an aero position. Too much of a reach. I think it's called reach, isn't it? I think I'm out of battery.
So back to me in the studio, I'm afraid. I did put the Insta360 Go Ultra on the front handlebars, but then I put my hand in front of the microphone because I didn't want to put it on the carbon because I've already scratched my bike once, didn't want to do it again, even though it probably wouldn't have done any damage. So this was unusable. But what I'm talking about here is the wheels. So the Carbon Mavic wheels are fabulous. Not sure if I realise much difference, but I'm sure they're giving you a bit more aero. And I think the tyres as well are 32mm tyres, which seem a bit large, but the new rolling resistance thinking is that wider tyres, for an amateur at least, are better, and you can put less air in them, because I used to pump my tyres up to 100 psi every time with thinner tyres on my Cannondale. And it was like your bones were shaking at the end of a ride on the UK roads that we all know what they're like. So it's a more comfortable ride with a bit less air pressure in. Also, it's a lot faster by all accounts, by all the boffins who are in the know. So how do I rate the Allroad Carbon with the aero pack? I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. I couldn't believe on the flat here, when you look at the power output and you look at the speeds I was hitting, not near the end when I was talking, but earlier on the ride, hitting 40 kilometres on the flat. I normally hit 30 kilometres on the flat on my road bike, so I'm getting 10 kilometres an hour from somewhere with very little effort. The other thing that happens, I guess, is when you're on Zwift a lot, your power's cheating you a little bit, because it's all getting worked out and they're doing the best they can. And I love riding on Zwift, don't get me wrong, but there seems to be a slight delay when you put the power down. You can't sustain it for as long. There's no freewheeling. So riding outside, I think you really get the benefit of the training you've done, but also the power when you kick it in. If you've got a little ramp, you just put a little bit of power down, you're already up the ramp, whereas on Zwift you seem to be treading through treacle a little bit. So overall, wheels fabulous. They make an amazing sound. So for you free hub junkies out there, I will put the spinning wheel noise, which I think a lot of short videos get thousands of views for them, so you never know. But thanks for watching my channel. I hope you thanks for Ribble. They don't sponsor me with my 7 subscribers, but so this is an honest review. A fabulous bike, 10 out of 10. So glad I made the purchase, and I look forward to riding it more and more and more. I'm even looking forward to my 3-day ride, which I wasn't before because I'm rubbish on hills. So take care out there. If you can, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you like. It would really, really help the channel. I'm putting a lot in here, but we'll see. It's up to you, isn't it, if you've lasted this long. Ready for you free hub junkies to hear the noise? Take it away.